There are people working full-time jobs right now, sleeping in their cars, not because they want to, but because they have no other options. And the crazy part about this is this isn't rare anymore. I want you to watch this.
So there's no third spaces anywhere. There's nowhere you can go to just relax. There's nowhere you can go to sleep. There's nowhere you can go to. It's a constant struggle to have any kind of, not even just privacy, just being left alone, just not having these property owners, private police force that they hire to just roam around like a bunch of dorks and pull up to you while you're literally doing nothing wrong. You're sleeping. You're doing an essential human body function, something that every single person who has ever lived has had to do.
That right there, that becomes normal. Because how do you work every day and still end up here? And at what point does this stop being temporary? And it gets worse.
You guys are not going to believe this, but I am literally back homeless, living in my car as of tonight. I think going into the new year is going to be a huge and different shift for me. And I think that there are, some people that I can't take with me.
It's a constant struggle to even find a place to sleep while you're living in your car. Some people are even living in parking lots.
I live in a van in a parking lot, and I don't want to travel. I don't want to find another spot. I like this parking lot. This is the best parking lot that I have ever seen. And I've traveled to a lot of parking lots. I've lived in my van full-time for 10 months, and I've had the van for 4 years, so I would just go on like part-time trips, right? This parking lot is quiet, it's hidden, there's great internet service so I can do all the work I need to do. Also, when I open this side door, the only thing that's over here is nature. So it's not like I'm opening the door to stores or other cars. Like when this side door is wide open, which it is, most of the day while I'm working, I see plants and I see flowers, and there's actually 2 hummingbirds that live in this tree over here. And the hummingbirds, they come right up to the cat. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But the cat will be like sitting on our cat tree, looking out the door, and this hummingbird just comes like eye level. And you can always hear it because their wings sound like a little mini helicopter. And I'm like, oh my God, hey. And also, there are about 4 or 5 other vans that live in this parking lot. Now, I stay here the most. The other vans, they come and they go. One of the vans over here, they have another job, so they go to that job. I don't know what the guy with the pink surfboard does. Maybe he just goes and surfs all day. This lady, she makes jewelry, so she goes over to like the touristy area and she sells the jewelry that she makes. And then this guy over here who's in the truck with the dog, I've never spoke to him. I wave and say hello to everybody, but I've never really spoken to any of them. And then the one time that I went to go speak to, there's a couple that lives in a van over here. I went to speak to them, but they're not rude or mean by any means, but it's very obvious that they do not want friends. They have no desire whatsoever to communicate or connect, but again, they're not rude. So it's not like one of those situations. So, respect. You don't want friends, that's great, because I don't really want friends either. But I know it sounds weird that I'm living in a parking lot, that I stay in the parking lot, and that I don't want to leave the parking lot. But maybe if you were in my situation, you would understand. I like living in this parking lot more than I liked living in my old neighborhood. It's more quiet, there's less traffic, and there's a grocery store right here. I'm also making acquaintances with the people in the grocery store. They notice me, they recognize me, they're really nice to me. They know this is my van. There's a mall that's walking distance. There's lots of food. There's a Ross. So, really everything I need is right here in this parking lot. And I know it's weird, but I've always been weird.
So behind me, we have a woman living in a dog house. That's a dog house. She's been on this corner for a long time and someone got her dog house. So people are saying Portland is fine. Portland is nowhere near fine, especially if you're finding people like this in this situation. This is just so surreal to even see. Now, I approached her, I've talked to her a few times. She is refusing help. She is a refugee, actually from Africa, and came here a few years ago and ended up street homeless pretty quickly afterwards. I think she said she came here about 2 years ago. Anyway, living in a doghouse. That is just this really sad and pathetic reality of the streets of Portland, is people like this are just allowed to live this way. I mean, this is an extremely busy area too. Thousands of cars are driving by here every single day, and nothing is getting done. Because in the eyes of most people in Portland, it's okay that she's doing this because it's her choice.
Let me ask you something and be honest. This part right here, most people don't want to say this, but here's where it gets uncomfortable.
And living in your car has its days. It has its moments. At one point, you feel all liberated and free. You know, it's not that bad. But the next, I don't know. It's just like, damn, I miss my bed. I hate waking up every morning and my ankles look like watermelons. I've never seen my ankles look like this before. Like, it's hot. It's a little hotter today. And I don't know. I just wish I had a home with some AC and a couch and a bed so I could bed rot today. I would never take my stability for granted ever again. Ever again. If I have to get 3 jobs, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, because this is not a joke. This is not fun at all.
I noticed that it's a lot of different circumstances that people are living in their cars, but most of the time it leads back to money.
Since I've been living in my car, it's been one of the most degrading, humiliating, and embarrassing things I've ever had to do. Because for those that know me, know that I've always handled my business. I've always taken care of my daughter and busted my butt to make sure I would never, ever, ever be in this position. But the reason why I say it's disgusting is because, number one, I have a bathroom trash can in the backseat with tissue and wipes, stuff like that I have to pee in. You know how disgusting I feel? Do you know how disgusting I feel having to sneak, like, look to this right, look this way, make sure can't nobody see me? And I can only do it at nighttime. I don't do it in the daytime because you can see in my car. So in the daytime, I have to go to gas stations. Anyways, also, climbing over this seat, diabolical. Also, it's cold as hell right now. And I can't just have my car running because gas. Also, I also need an oil change right now because I have had to have my car running like I have. So, also, for me, my pride, my ego, that don't exist. I have to ask, not ask, but it's people offering me showers and stuff, not because I, need one, but it's just like, they offer it, like, you can always come take a shower here. Do you know how, this is also humbling. Also humbling. My wife don't understand what she did while she was trying to just focus on destroying me and lying and covering up her lies. She don't know what she did. But I'm going to tell y'all what she did.
Hey guys, I'm Jack and I live out of my car, and I get a lot of comments wondering as to why I'm living out of my car and what my story of what brought me here. Honestly, I've shared this story before. This is the shortened version of the story of why I'm homeless and why I'm continuing to be living out of my car. It was just a bunch of unfortunate events that happened back to back. I was living at home with my mom at the time. However, those apartments were very old and not taken care of, so they collapsed and then they kicked us out. The landlord that bought them provided us with a hotel room for all of us to live in. As you can imagine, 8 people in one room did not work out well. A month after that, I was in an accident and my car got totaled, and then I had no means of transportation for my son and I. And there was absolutely no way that I could get him to school and back into my job. Dad and I made the decision that he was gonna go live with him. His father lives 2 hours away. I couldn't see my son because I didn't have a car. There was no way that I can travel to see him, and my mental state was deteriorating. little by little. I acquired quite a bit of debt because I would use my credit card for everything that my son wanted, everything that I may needed. After I lost my job, and that was a whole nother issue because I lost my main source of income and there was just like nothing that I can really do. For whatever reason, I couldn't find a job. Besides the family problems that were going on as well, I just didn't have any money. I knew that there was no way that I can continue paying rent, and I made the decision to live out of my car. Honestly, wanted to get any job that I could, and I started applying everywhere, and I got a job in a whole different city. Honestly, that job kickstarted everything that I needed it to kickstart. Now, I'm choosing to live out of my car, not only finish paying off my debt, but to also save money to be able to get an apartment for my son and I. Because a lot of people think for some reason that I abandoned my son. You can judge all you want, but I never abandoned my son, and I'm never going to. Now, I'm giving myself a 4-month goal. So by the end of this year, I am hoping that I reach my, and I will. I know I am. If you guys want to be part of my journey, that would be so great. I love having you guys here. I love the community that we've built here because everyone here is so sweet. I love that there's no hate. I love that there's no negativity. And that's what I strive for everyone to be. So
This isn't something that you used to see like this. Now it feels more and more that people were just trying to survive. So what do you think is really going on? Have you seen this where you live? Talk to me in the comments. I'm really curious what you're seeing.